to Finding Calm in the Chaos. I am Denise, and this is my podcast. Hello, hello, hello. I am Denise, and you are listening to Finding Calm in the Chaos. Welcome back, everyone, to another Wednesday edition. Okay, so I'm literally learning some serious life patience right now, and really am being tried. I'm walking the coals, people. With respects to putting in all of this self-development and whatnot. You know, you can do all the self-development in the world, but if you're not putting the steps into place in reality, you're just reading books, right? Well, what is that? How does that help anything? So I am being tried, people. So, you know, I hate to keep talking about it, but it's literally a major part of my life right now. And that is this surgery I had on my foot and my ankle. The foot ankle itself is well. It's healing the best it can under the circumstances of being in a lupus flare for like the longest time in my entire life. But unfortunately, I am being put under fire with some issues with my good knee on the opposite side. I got it cleared before the foot surgery, and you know, we're thinking that guy missed something. And you know, does it kind of make me mad? Yeah, it does. But I'm actually scheduling with another knee specialist. This guy is actually top notch. He actually did my dad's knee surgery. And if my dad likes him, he must be a good doctor, because my dad pretty much doesn't like anybody. So I'm going to get a second opinion on this. I'm hoping that once the flare recedes, I'm not seeing that right now, guys, but I'm still doing all the things, right? But once this flare recedes and I'm able to move a little bit more, I'll be able to do, you know, I'll be able to give it a better look. I don't do injections. None of that stuff works for me. It actually is very counterintuitive to my lupus as well. So it's either going to be, we're going to heal this with, you know, ice, elevation, and compression, which is what I'm currently doing until I can get back on the Peloton. Right now, I cannot get my surgical foot in the Peloton shoe because it's still just a little puffy in the back. But once I can, and I've been cleared to do that, we will do that. PT, that's a whole nother poop story for another day. I'll do that on Coffee Talk. So I saw this, you know me, I'm always like inspired by some like quote or meme that I saw, but I actually saw this really, really like powerful verbiage the other day when I was on the powers of social media that may be. And it said, nothing can stop your blessings. Not a hater, not an ex, not a hex, not your unsupportive friends, nothing except you. And I love this quote. Like, hallelujah. Somebody put it out there. Again, a lot of you know I am retired from the MLM world. I say that again, I'm really trying to leave this industry with love in my heart. But I'm telling you, the more I'm seeing from the people still in it currently in today's day and age, I'm not feeling it, and I'm feeling a little vocal about it. And I'm trying to hold back the reins. But yeah. So I'm seeing a lot of, you don't support me. I'm trying to win a trip. Why aren't people buying from me? I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Costa Rica. Yeah, do your own work. I do not like when people call out friends and other people because they're not making their goals or to make their goals. You know, and I'm not really sure who's asking these people or instructing these people to still do that, but it's wrong. You're responsible for your business, not anybody else. If you're failing, it's because you're putting posts up about how people need to support you so you could go on vacation, all expenses paid, which I tell you they are not. They could tell you whatever, just like this car. My company pays for my car until you don't meet that rank, and then you're paying for your car. So there's a lot of, you know, again, I'm a little salty about that subject right now. So I'm going to try to skip over it. So nothing can stop your blessings. Nothing. I'm going through some big poop storm right now. It is blowing like a flurry blizzard of just poop drops. And you know what? I'm waking up every morning and I'm making things happen because there is a message. And I cannot worry about what's going on. I cannot worry about how it's going to result. What's the end going to be like? What's the middle going to be like? I can only get through today. And this is big for me, people. If you know me, this is big. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, why, can't, I need to, what if, oh my God, stressing out, just craziness. And I've literally just given it to God. There's a purpose behind this. There was a purpose that I was given a cancer that was, supposedly terminal, but I'm still here. I'm sure I didn't survive. I tried to put it in perspective, right? I'm thinking, during devotional, I didn't survive. Like the Lord didn't have me survive a terminal cancer to put me out with like an ankle foot surgery. When you put it in perspective like that, it makes way more sense. So it's just easier for me to literally give it to God and be like, you know what? You got a plan. I wouldn't have chose this plan, but I'm not God. So, okay, I'm in, and I'm just doing what I can because it's all I can do, right? I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. So nothing can stop your blessings. So I'm blessed, right? I'm not letting a foot ankle surgery ruin that I get to stay home with Peter every day. And we get to homeschool and we need to hang out and we need to make memories and create all of these things and hang with them. A lot of people don't have that luxury. It's a luxury. I mean, we made sacrifices to get here, but it was something that we chose that was right for our family. But that's a blessing nonetheless. All the haters. Oh my God, she left MLM. So, everybody unfollowed me and some people like blocked me and this happens. Okay, whatever. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, whatever. How's that interrupt me, doing a podcast and getting on my goals and dreams every day? It doesn't. So there's that. Not an ex. I don't have an ex. I just have Mr. Sith. And again, he gets on my every last nerve, but he has stepped up in a way that has really just shined. And I appreciate him more than ever. Normally I would be a raving lunatic and screaming and hollering all the time, but I will tell you, he has really put on his big boy pants. If anybody knows Mr. Sith, you know that I talk like 60,000 times enough for like the two of us put together. He doesn't have to say a word, but when he does speak, it's super important. So listen, if you ever meet Mr. Sith, not a hex, you're not cursed. I'm not cursed. Everyone's like, I can't believe this happened to you. What do you mean? Nothing really like happened to me. It's not like somebody that, I didn't get a hex put on my ankle. I didn't get a hex put on my knee. It is what it is, right? I don't like it, but you know what? I don't have to like it. I just have to deal and do the things to make it happen. I'm not going to sit on the couch. And this is very indicative to what I used to do. Is that I would be very depressed right now. And that's why I'm shoving my face in my Bible. I'm shoving my face in all that devotional. I'm shoving my face into gratitude because these are the times where you slip, right? So I'm being my biggest fan right now. I'm making sure that I am taking care of me. I'm not, if I sit on the couch and I just cry about it all day. How am I supposed to get my, my crochet projects done for my charity? Well, not my charity, but my friend Brenda Cooper's. Whoop, whoop to Brenda. And then, if I'm, bitching and moaning all day and being crabby and not doing a podcast like I said I would every week, how is that hurting anybody but me? So I need to cheer myself on. Get your behind up. The boys are at, School of Rock today. And so start recording. And so, it's the same. Everyone's like, oh, what happened to your book? Okay, first off, it is not easy to write a book. And I know people will make it out to be because of all the new like e-reading, write your own book. And then you get 3 pages in and you're like, did anybody even read this? Because like, you don't even have punctuation. I am writing I want it to be on bookshelves. So, plus I'm illustrating it. And I had to put it to the side because I wasn't feeling it artistically. Plus I got new ideas for it. So like, just because you shelf something, and this is something that I do, or that I've chosen to do. So I chose to shelf the book for this year, but I'm going to start it next year. But that doesn't mean that I don't have like 8 books going currently. I swear I have 8 of them. So I have a storyboard. I've got 8 different places, 8 different books going. The European trip is kind of swayed how I want my first book release to be. So I had originally chosen a particular, it's a series, a children's series. I had chosen one to open with, but then I decided because we were going on the European trip that I would open up with a different book. So essentially, without giving too much away, because I'm still filing for like, all the protection and Library of Congress stuff. So I'm writing a series that will take kids to different cities. We'll just leave it at that. And the city I originally was going to open with, I've decided to change to another city because we're visiting them. And it allows me to I had some new ideas come. And so this is the thing, like you could assume that in the past I could have been really hard on myself that I was shelving an idea, but I wasn't really shelving the idea. I was still working on it, right? And I was being honest with myself and still working on it. But then through that, not just diving in, kicking out a book so I could kick out a book, I was able to basically elaborate and add on to the original ideas I have that in the long run are going to make it a bigger series. It's going to have a curriculum for homeschool and for schools. It'll be available. It has a greater, I can't think of the word right now. It has a greater thought behind why I'm doing it. Why am I writing these books? I'm not just writing them to write books. There's something, I want a lesson to be learned. I want an experience to be had. I want kids to know that all these things happen in different countries, all of this culture and experience and food and sights and all of that and history. But at the same time, I want to be able to give them that without leaving their house if they can't. I want them to still be able to experience that culture and travel. So my thought and my intent behind these books is so much greater than what it had originally started. So I don't feel bad at that at all. I'm like, hey, good job, Denise. Woo, whoop. I'm like cheering myself on because I am my biggest fan. And if you are not your biggest fan and you're always struggling in your business, then it's because you're letting other people dictate what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you, this is very hard. And it's why I brought up MLM is because there is this cult-like mentality in MLM, M&Ms. I wish they were as likable as M&Ms. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm not saying it's bad. Okay. So it's not yet. Okay. Cause they're really pushing me, but I have been friends with so many people over, 7 different companies over 15 years. And I'm seeing that same cult-like mentality in posting. It's the same stuff. every time somebody moves to a business, it's like, you've never seen this before. You've never done that. We have, though. We have. Like, you think we haven't, but we have. We have indeed. And I will tell you that I'm not saying I don't try, but like I said, I had to bow out of MLM completely, including products, only because of a fairness issue, right? I know so many people. I know like 80 Scentsy people. I love Scentsy, and I have like my certain things that I buy, but they're literally through only 2 people because they're friends, like physical, we know each other friends. You know what I mean? You gotta draw the line somewhere in the sand. But I want to talk a little bit more about this being your biggest fan, because I have been a very good cheerleader for myself, and I'm proud of that. So I want to kind of tell you what I've been doing. I read something. It was kind of cool. I was like, wow. But we will do that right after we take a little break for our Pet Matrix sponsor. Hey friends, I've got a question for you. How much do you love your dog? This was an easy question for me. Lots. As I started to look at the ways I could increase her quality of life, I realized there were just too many options. How was I going to choose? That's why I partner with my friends over at Pet Matrix. Taking a scientific approach, they combine organic, natural compounds with highly effective peptides to aid in my dog's health journey. All you need to really know is that the results are nothing short of amazing. All I had to do was sprinkle the dry formula onto her food once a day, and I've got my Shiba back. Our Princess Shika has been using these products for more than 6 months now, and Pet Matrix has given our 14-year-old Shiba Inu the energy back in her stride. She's out in the yard taking steps in a single bound and chasing down the bunnies. I also shared Pet Matrix with my mom to help with her 15-year-old Chihuahua, Molly. And like a lot of dogs, Molly is tightly wound like a rubber band when it comes to fireworks. Adding a little of the Pet Matrix Calm to her water every morning gave Molly her first 4th of July without the shakes and crying. And that's what we want for our dogs. Pet Matrix helped me understand that building around the 3 pillars of health, immune and gut support, cognitive function, and mobility and inflammation, we can not only increase their quality of life, but also increase their quantity of life. Shika and I are all in. You can check out Pet Matrix at www.mypetmatrix.com and tell them Denise sent you, because we love family-owned businesses. You will receive a 15% discount using promo code Denise15 at checkout, so you can help your furry babies be all they can be. Again, that's www.mypetmatrix.com and receive a 15% discount with promo code Denise15 at checkout. DENISE 15. Hello, welcome back. Okay, we are talking today about being your biggest fan. I've been chit-chatting about how I'm just super proud that I have really been my greatest cheerleader, I think, in all my 53 years. I can say 53 now. Just turned 53 in October. And this all came about because I was reading this quote. And I'm going to be honest with you, I just remembered where I saw the quote come from. And it was on Instagram. And it was posted by Garcelle Bouveau. I think it's Bouvier. She is one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yes, I know. I watched that show. I love it. I hate it, but I love it. Does that make sense? Anyway, I love Garcelle. I think she is a wonderful and powerful woman, and she's beautiful. And I love everything about her. She just walks life with grace, and her book was fabulous. She wrote a bio, so if you want to check that out. I don't get anything from Garcelle. I'm just saying it was a good book. She had posted, "Nothing can stop your blessings. Not a hater, not an ex, not a hex, not your unsupportive friends, nothing except you. Now, that's not word for word. It's what I wrote because what's what I got out of it. But so I actually read a book a while ago and I was digging around like, I know I got this book somewhere. Where is it? But it's a book. It's based on like some news. Well, at the time it was like new psychotherapy. I don't know. It's been a while. But it's called Get Out of Your Mind and Into Your Life. And it was by Dr. Stephen Hayes. And the whole book kind of is the premise of it is ACT. So ACT, acceptance, commitment, and therapy. Lord knows, everybody knows now, I love my therapist. She is the greatest thing since sliced bread, since any bread, like since artesian cultured baguette, French baguettes. Like I love her that much. But basically, the whole psychotherapy behind this is like, why do we suffer, right? Why do we do things that cause suffering, right? And everyone's like, what do you mean Denise, you just said I caused my suffering. And there are always circumstances that lay outside of this. And we're not talking about like abuse cases and stuff like that. Although that does fall under this, we're not going to address extreme cases. Okay. So a little disclaimer out there. This is the everyday run of the mill peeps like you and me that have dealt with stuff, but this applies to everything, right? What does it mean to be mentally healthy is what they address in the book. So I read this again because I was like, wow, this is like really, really good. And basically they were talking about how in life, pain is like a normal and unavoidable part of being human, right? It is an emotion. Just because we have emotions that are available to us, good and bad, doesn't mean that we just get to choose the good. Life in its essence will deliver all senses and emotions to you, good and bad. It's how you deal with that pain, right? That is what chooses if you are living the most in your life, right? How you deal with it. So basically, there's two ways to deal with pain. Now, how I usually did this, I felt like writing the book. You know, I always find that if you're truly honest about your life, your feelings, you know, what is going on, you're being really transparent with yourself, okay? Not like bullshit stuff. If you're being very transparent with yourself, you should see yourself in these books clearly. Like which one is you? And not everybody is the happy people because they just chose to find their life, right? All the issues and cover it with happy versus pain or sad or anger or, you know what I'm saying? So it's just pick one. This book happens to concentrate on pain, okay? Because most people will deal with pain sometime in their life through deaths of loved ones, emotional breakups, you know, with relationships, the loss of pets, the loss of children, you know, any kind of stuff like that. So pain. So how a negative way of dealing with this is avoidance and trying to control. Okay. Hello. It was like, wow, those two words were my life for like 25 years, maybe 30. It's, you know, and when you take pain and you address it with avoidance and trying to control, you are suffering. Okay. You're creating suffering in your body, right? And that leads to long-term problems. Okay. I don't know, pick your poison, right? Depression, anxiety, anger management issues. I mean, it's going to go on, right? So pick your problem. Long-term problems, which lead to ultimately a low quality of life, which is what I was in. I was in a low quality of life. You know, I have friends in low places. That was me. I was that friend. But when you take pain and you release it, right? And this is a practice that you do. And I read the book for like how to do it. I've done some of this with my therapist, with some coaches, that kind of stuff. But, you know, you need to release that pain and stop struggling with it. Okay. So that means accepting it, not controlling it, letting it go, accessing the value of it, right? And confront the pain. And that is going to be, those are the things you're going to do instead of avoidance and trying to control it. And then by doing, releasing, stop the struggling, assessing your values, confronting it, you are creating a willingness to embrace life moments. Think about that. You are showing a willingness to embrace life moments, okay? Because if you're avoiding them and trying to control them, you're not embracing your life moment. I mean, I wasn't, right? I spent 25 years trying to basically run from my life because I didn't want to address the internal pain. And once I did, then I was like, okay, this is making me way more sense now. Wow, this is way more miserable, right? Because it was my willingness to address and confront, right? And name the pain in my life then caused me to embrace my life moments, because you're like, okay, most of it is not your fault. Most of it's like parent issues. And that's all normal. It doesn't mean that you have bad parents, okay? When you have like parent issues, it's because of this natural thing that we have, right? That everything gets chosen for us. And then when you become a teenager and you start getting a mind of your own, it's like everybody goes through like the 16s, right? And above, everybody's like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't even like that. I don't like to go to there. I don't like to do that. I don't even like Aunt Marge. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make them a douche. Well, it does, because they also have like hormones and stuff going on. So we did it all. We all were there. We all do it in a way that's like totally uncouth. And, because we're 16 and we're all like, and a lot of eye rolls and, but it's because we are becoming individuals and learning that things that were chosen for us are just not something we would choose. And our society as a whole has embraced that situation with, too bad, you're going to do it our way. But I want to embrace it. I think we need to embrace it with, okay, these are things that happened in our house because we grew up this way. But you now can go forward and think about, if this does not right for you, that you can like choose something different. You don't have to go to Marge's when you don't live here. You don't have to, drive a red car. You don't have to go to college. We all did, but maybe you don't. Maybe trade school's down your alley. Not, you know what, everyone went to college and was a doctor, so you're going to do that too. Bum, bum, bum. Then you got somebody who's probably going to be a miserable doctor. I'm just saying. And somebody who's probably not going to be a doctor with a ton of student loans. There's that. So creating this willingness to embrace life's moments, because we're going to address the pain. We're going to release it. We're going to assess it. We're going to stop struggling to fight it. And then when we're embracing that life moment is coming to us, right? We start feeling, but you're not turning your life over to them. You're feeling and acknowledging the pain situation and the root cause of it, but you're not turning your life over to them, right? And it's okay to do this. Like, be your biggest fan, right? Nobody's going to do this for you. Nobody's going to be like, hey girl, you need to address your pain. No, they're just going to stop calling you. They're going to stop hanging with you. They're going to stop there's some of them are going to get challenge you because they're going through their own things. Been through all of that. But this enables you to be able to, and when you're turning your life over, right? You're not turning your life over to pain. You're taking control. You're having a better quality of life. And then you could be your biggest fan because you did something that helped release the stress. You did something that helped your health, your soul. You have to release all of this stuff. And for me, carrying this stuff for the longest time was dangerous because I was a walking time bomb. Like legit. Like, some people are like, I remember her 5-6 years ago. I know, but you don't remember me 10, 20 years ago. I'd scare the heck out of some people who know me today, because I was not the same person. And don't even get me started on before cancer, because there is an after cancer Denise and there is a before cancer Denise. And I don't think there are very many people who could actually deal with before cancer Denise. I was just like a completely different person. Do I not like that person? No, because I had to be that person to be where I am today, right? I'm my biggest fan of all the Denises, right? Little Denise, who's a pain in my ass because she's just so needy and constantly looking for assurance. And I'm okay with teenager Denise, who went completely on like her own thing and like blew off everybody and was angry and did crazy stuff. And then, you know, as all the Denises got me to this point today. It sounds crazy, but it's true. It's the culmination of all of it, of accepting me. And all of those experiences, good and bad in life, were blessings, because you're here today. I'm here today, even if they were really bad. Everyone's like, well, Denise, you know, sometimes, hey, I grew up with a father who used to beat the crap out of us and was horribly mentally abusive. And, you know, we didn't have all the catch terms they were today, but let me tell you, nobody was a gaslighter like my dad was. I didn't even know what that term was when I was a kid, but he might have invented it. And does that make him a bad person? No, and it has no bearing on me as an adult. And I know that sounds crazy, but he does not control me. He does not, those experiences are not who I am. They were done to me. They didn't create me. They are not who I am at my essence and what God made me, if that makes sense. They are things that happened as a result of me living life. But I had to take that pain and finally learn how to address it so that I could have released myself of the low quality of life and bring myself a better quality of life. And that's why, after everything I've been through in my life, I can't get hung up on this knee ankle surgery thing, because it's going to work out. I didn't live through everything I've lived through to have a knee take me out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nope, I don't think so. And plus, so I'm putting this to test, and I'll talk more about it on the next podcast. We have a coffee talk coming up on the 12th. But I'll wrap it up with, listen to the coffee talks. I'm going to talk more about what we're doing in the next couple weeks and what's going on. We're super excited in this household. You have no idea. I got the first deliveries coming this week and the next week. It's going to be amazing. But we're super excited for the addition to our family. And that's about it for today. So if, again, hey guys, we need to subscribe. I'm asking if you are feeling these and you're liking the way I talk, to please subscribe here on your favorite podcasting platform, or go over to YouTube as well. I have them over there, and subscribe to YouTube. We've got big stuff coming up next year on YouTube. And also, I believe we're almost done trying to figure out Peter's channel. And if you got little kiddos, you're going to want them to watch that, because boy, he's just entertaining in general. So have a great one. And until next time, lead with kindness, my friends. Thank you, friends, for spending this time with me today. If you found some calm listening in, please take a moment to subscribe to Finding Calm in the Chaos. And just so you don't miss out on future episodes, make sure you're receiving notifications. Thanks again. Until next time, lead with kindness.